So this particular plant, which has leaves like this, and it has the flower display like this, on stalks like that, which are hairy like this, and we can see them in all their glory in different forms. Now this is the one that I was considering was cow parsley, but it turns out that it isn't, and it could be some sort of hogwort plant, which if you touch then they're supposed to blister your fingers, but I personally have never had that reaction. And yesterday I actually chewed on one of these and nothing happened. So is this one of these giant hogwort fucking poisonous blistering things? Doesn't appear to be. And if we look at the stem, I'm going to get my knife out. So let me clasp this in here, get my knife out, and cut one of them, and then we can see that it's hollow. We can see that it's serrated and hairy and circular, and then the leaves are this. Now we should really be able to identify that plant from that. I've showed you the stalk, the hairs, the leaves, how the plant opens up and distributes its foliage, how the flowering actually works and what it looks like, and they are even a little bit pink, so we should be able to have some idea what that one is. Now, as opposed to that, over here we've got what I was considering to be hemlock, and this, I'm going to cut one of these like that. Now here again, the stalk isn't round, circular perfectly. It's serrated the same as this variety of plant over here, but the leaves are very carrot-like, and they are pretty distinguishable. But this is the variety of leaf that I've seen online, which is pretty similar to cow parsley. And whenever I've gone online before and I've looked at the hemlock leaves, they are exactly like this. But then it turns out that cow parsley is also exactly like this, so I'm fucking, you know, bewildered with all this shit. And then we see how the stalks go up, and then they separate themselves into a very sporadic, sort of random display of flowers. And again, they are hollow, and this one has some sort of a blotchy sort of you know, stuff that is very similar to the hemlock, because the hemlock gets this cloudiness on it, only it's not entirely, the hemlock is entirely smooth, where this one isn't. And so I'm gonna choose some more. Now let's have a look at this one up here, where we've got this thing again. Look at that leaf there. I mean, the leaves, you know, really are pretty different to one another. You've got that leaf there, right? Look at the shape of that leaf, and then you've got this leaf here. Let me get a closer inspection, because this is the thing with all this shit. Now, that one is coming from the same fucking plant, and look at the shape of it. we can see that that's like that. Then we're going to pick another one which is coming from the same plant, and it's like that. And so what do you do, people, when you've got this level of discrepancy, you know, on the same plant? How are we supposed really seriously to be able to discern what the fuck we're dealing with? And then if we look at the flowers, then these are very different to the ones that I consider are the hemlock plant, which have fucking leaves like cow parsley, and stalks like cow parsley, but I don't know, maybe they are cow parsley. So we can see this one then, the whole attitude of it, and you know, how it breaks off, and every time it breaks off it ends up in one particular group of flowers. So it's separating here and it comes up and it ends in one group of flowers, whereas this other thing here with these variety of leaf, the carrot variety of leaf, when they come up on their stalk, they separate and then they separate again. And so from one stalk you've got 3 other stalks, and then a much more loosely random display of very different flowers. They would take these flowers over and have a comparison. You see? Very, very different. And so because this plant is so accessible, I'll take this one over and put it alongside this. Now we can see that the stalks are very, very similar. This one isn't hairy, but that one is. That big thing there is hairy, very, very hairy stalks. This one doesn't have any hair on the stalk. And of course the leaves are exceedingly different. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through to just 100 yards up here. There are what, from my recollection, last summer were like 8 feet tall hemlock plants, and they were very circular and smooth and tubular in their stalk. They were very purpley and blotchy, and they often had this clouding upon them which you can rub off with your finger. These little dudes. Hey little dudes, sorry I ain't got no nuts in my pockets for you. Hello. You hiding? Huh? Hiding, little dude? Yeah. Funny. You see, when we don't know anything about these animals, they mean little to us. But when we know how they are and how they can be with us, when we know how they can have a relationship with a human being, which is a very beautiful one, a very endearing one. When squirrels are kept as house pets, they are playful and engaging and inquiring and loving, and they want to just have fun all the time. As soon as you take them outside, they enter into their default squirrelism. And instantly the play stops, that connection mostly is lost. My little boy now, look, he'll come to me, you know, because of course I'm feeding him. On occasion, and it's not rare, it's kind of like 1 in 10 or 20 times, he will hang around me and he'll get a bit playful, and like, you know, I'll play and wrestle with him with my hand, and then he'll just sit on my shoulder, and then he'll have a look around at what's going on, the other squirrels and that, and then he'll have a sniff and a little bite on the end of my nose, and then I can, you know, have a little bit of wrestling, and he'll run around me like squirrels run around trees, and that's the beautiful thing. And that's kind of like a blast from the past, because he was always like that when he was a house squirrel. Now, here is the part where I found these plants, and you can see here they are. These are remnants of last year, but there's no new ones this year, which is very bizarre. And we can see that they were purpley and blotchy, and I wonder if I can... No, they're too hard, but these are smooth, you see, and very all this discolouring here, it was purple, and they were, you know, 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall, and so it doesn't look like we've got any, but they were more around this field, and so I'm going to see if I can find any. Why aren't they here or there this year? That's the thing. Now, I think we just have to go through here. Yeah, I'm going to go through here. Now, all these plants here, this one, look at the copious amounts of them. Like I say, they're everywhere. But again, we have this variety, which isn't blotchy, it isn't round, it isn't purple. Well, it's a little bit purple here and there, nothing too much. And then you've got these wonderful displays of flowers on the top there. What are they called? Are they called an umbel or something? An umbra or an umbral? I don't know. It's been over 2 years since I've been looking in my books, and so I forgot lots of the terminology. And doubtless I'm getting confused as to certain plants. But then when we look around everywhere, we've got these ones again, with these like cow parsley, hemlock type of leaves. And you know, I seem to remember watching the video that says you can't discern between cow parsley and hemlock from the leaves because they're almost identical. You have to do it from the stalk. The stalk is very different because on the hemlock it is very smooth and tubular, circular, with purple blotches, and it has some sort of milky stuff on it. But again, this is where they were last year, and now they're gone. Not here as yet. Maybe they're growing later. Apparently some people say that they grow later in the year, and so all that's here so far is that variety of plant. Well, no, that variety and that variety, but when we see a very discernible purple tube, it's when the plant has got some maturity, and the tube is about 1 inch in diameter, and it's very solid. And in the fall, you can cut these plants down and you can actually use them as a walking cane. That's how rigid they are. So whatever properties that particular plant has, the one where you can use these tubular, smooth purple stems as walking sticks, you can actually use them as a beating cane if you're into spanking. And if you're into spanking, you can use them for that. And so, well, unless I come up with you know, a prime example of what I'm looking for now, I don't know, I'm at a little bit of a miss, to be fair, people. So I'll do a little bit more foraging around, and if I come upon something, then maybe I'll make video number 2. But look at this one here, for instance. Now then, this one right in the middle. Aha! Okay, so we've got some red blotchy shit going on. This one looks like the hemlock. Here we go. Okay, found you, motherfucker. Look at this. Are we all happy that this one is a poisonous hemlock plant? And it hasn't as yet come into flower, so I'm going to be coming back in a few days. Look how tall they are. That one's like 9 feet already, and so this is very exciting now, because I certainly made an error with my assessment with the last video. And so this is even curious, because we've got two coming out of here, when this is happening, two here and two here. Now, that doesn't happen on these other plants. Let's go back to these. You always only get one. You get one coming out there, right? You get one coming out here. Down here, you've got one also. And these very spiky indeed. You know, I'm touching this one a great deal, and one of these hogwart type things is supposed to be blistering your skin, but as I say, I haven't experienced that. But I suppose if I do experience it, then that's confirmation of a certain plant. So this is very exciting. This now looks very different to what I've been seeing down the hedgerows of the countryside where I walk within. This is very discernible, and these plants, they're going to get taller than this even. And so if I was to try to cut one of these, they're already pretty solid, and in a few more weeks they will become very woody. And I couldn't cut that with any ease with this knife now, because of the robustness nature of it. But that's very exciting to be able to see that particular plant like that. And now, of course, well, I mean, come on people, we're out in the wilderness, we're having fun, right? I'm gonna cut this one off. So I put the camera in my legs, and I'm going to slice that one and take it over and present it directly next to the other one. Now, okay, looky what we got, huh? Very different stalks. When they split off, there's only one on this one I'm holding in front, and there's always two on the one behind. And the leaves obviously are a huge difference. And you've got this beautiful symmetry coming off, 2 by 2. You got, let me put my knife away. Right, just gonna break that. So we've got 2 by 2s coming off. Yeah. So people who know something about this stuff shouldn't have any problems now discerning what these two plants are. With those beautiful flowers on there. Right, awesome, awesome. Let's just get a closer inspection on these. Now, when we separate them like that, it's like fractals, you see. They look in one shape, and then when you break one off, then they look like a smaller version. And then when you go down to the one like that, it's another smaller version. And then when you take one of these tiny, I wish I could have another arm. Next time when I come back to fucking one of these dimensions, I want 3 arms. I'm fucking tired of having 2 arms. Unless I get, you know, fucking rigged up to satellites and I've got a camera in my brain or in my fucking forehead. I think that's what I need. I don't give a fuck about becoming AI. If I've got more capabilities, then bring it on. Stick the camera in the front of my fucking brain, third eye, so I can film and record every shit and use my fucking hands at the same time. Damn it. This stupid fucking pink ape bullshit. I'm trying to learn shit about the world. Just don't have enough hands. Yeah, well, I can honestly say that I've never looked closely at one of these plants like I have now. And so that is a revelation to me. It's a wonderful thing. I'm very excited about that. So today, as a pink ape, I have learnt a little bit more about my environment, the world in which I live in. And I have proved myself to be wrong and confused with my erroneous knowledge and poor memory. And you know, I'm a meticulous sort of person, and so whenever I am confronted with myself having made a mistake, I have to think long and hard about that and have to work back how that came about. Because look, I'm the sort of person that will eat these fucking plants, and so I needed to be very, very sure that I wasn't eating hemlock. And so yesterday I chewed on one because I was that confident that it wasn't hemlock. And as it turns out, it wasn't hemlock, it's probably cow parsley. But the other one wasn't hemlock either. And so, you know, I look through a lot of books. I've got a lot of books on this stuff, and I do a lot of research, people. And so when I make a mistake, I need to regress and redress that error. I need to know where I made that error, how it came about. And I'm going to look back through my books to see. Because I used to bring my books out with me into the field, and I would look through the books and I would pick up leaves and twigs and stalks and everything, and I would make meticulous comparisons. But the difficulty is, when you've got a book, you've only ever got one or two illustrations, when the fact of it is you need about 50 of any given plant. But then of course the book becomes enormous, and you know, you need a fucking wheelchair or fucking suitcase, a forklift to carry them around. Now look here, we've got more hemlock growing down here. And so they break easy enough. And I'm going to take these over to this thing that I thought was hemlock. I thought these were hemlock. Why did I think these were hemlock? Because of the leaves. And I'm going to pick one of these leaves. You see that one there? Pick that group of leaf there and put it down there. Then I'm going to pull off one of these, and I'm going to put that down by its side. In actual fact, it's not clear there, so I'm going to take it to the road, and let's not be in any doubt about what we're looking at here, people. We don't want to be making any assumptions about anything. And so, right. So this is the one that is looking more and more now like it is the cow parsley, and there's quite a similarity, but of course this is only a small sprig and it's not very full bodied, and I don't think we can get the best indication, whereas that one, that's a good specimen. And so I'm going to go back through here to see. See, this is the extent of the research that I do. I'm not fucking about when I do this. I'm serious. And so here is one that I'm gonna pick from there. Right then, take that one off. Now, okay, this is a better example. And put that one down there. This is the poison hemlock, and this one is maybe the cow parsley, yeah? I think we're getting there, aren't we? They're both very carrot-like, aren't they? And so this would be an easy mistake to make. If you're looking in the book and you've got one picture like that, and that says, oh, that's a cow parsley, and then you've got, oh, that's a hemlock, just like that. Let me just fucking, this is very stringy, it doesn't want to come off. So we've got one like that, which is the hemlock, and then we get one like that. And so if you saw those in a book, you go, well, fucking hell, you know, they're pretty well the same fucking thing, aren't they? Only, you know, this one's a smaller version of that. But as far as, you know, I'm concerned, it's very, very similar. It's the same family, isn't it? It's got to be the same family, people. Anyway, I think that'll wrap this video up. And so I watched a video today, and it was 10 very poisonous plants in the British Isles, and poisonous shit that I never knew existed. And it's kind of like, well, I really do need to be a little bit more careful about eating every fucking thing I come upon. What's this taste like? Shit. These are hazel. Hazel. And these trees get lots of hazelnuts on them, but they never are there long enough for humans to harvest, because the squirrels bite into them a few bites and then go on to the next one. So they ruin all the harvest because they don't eat the whole thing. They just bite through the soft skin and get as much flesh out as they can without taking all of the skin away to reveal the nut inside. And so you look at these trees and you see just every nut is just had a few bites out of it. And it's kind of like a bit disappointing. I would prefer if they were a little bit more efficient and considerate with their consumption of wild foods. But anyway, people, okay, it's pissing it down. I'll talk to you later.